What's up? What's up? We are back to another week of Elite SEO 101, where I go over websites that I've been asked to review or answer questions. This week, I got some questions that I'm following up with from last week's questions that we discussed. Looks like we had a couple of questions where I was asked to kind of elaborate a little bit more on some of the things that we talked about in our last meeting. Those questions were, what are customers' questions? What are typical questions that people ask when it comes to their business? What are other things? What are other ways you can use your websites other than just leads? They wanted to know, like, everybody builds a website just to get customers. That's it. What else do you use a website for? And so I wanted to talk about that today. We talked about creating a niche for your business. Can we elaborate on that a little bit more? What's the importance of it? Why create a niche? And last but not least, what search engines feel about your business and being successful. So I want to get right into it. The first question we have is, when we're talking about, we discussed SEO last week, and we talked about the importance of answering customers' questions when it comes to them, what they're searching for, and what you do. So your expertise, you're an expert in your industry. Your customers call you and ask you questions. What I ask you to do is write blogs about those things that customers ask you in a phone call. Well, I'll elaborate a little bit more on that today. Some additional things that you can talk about when you want to blog, when you want to create posts, is very simple. Who, what, when, where, how, and why. Very simple. What you're going to do, just answer those questions in your blog. The first thing people want to know is who you are. You know, they want to know about you and your story, your history, as relates to this industry and what you're doing. Then people want to know what makes you special. What's your specialty? What are you good at? What makes you different from your competitors? What they're willing to do. Someone broke it down to me. Find out what your competitors are willing to do well, what they're not willing to do at all, and what you're willing to do at a cheaper price. Those are the things that you can actually focus on in your blog. The next thing is when. A big common question people ask is, when can you do the work for me? When can you do the job? You want to put an article about that on your website. Where are you located? What areas do you serve? How is it that you do what you do? How do you create it? And the most important question people always have, how much do you charge? They want to know what your price is. So that's a really important thing that you want to talk about in your blog. And last but not least, why do you do what you do? Is this your passion? Are you passionate about your efforts in your business? Answering those common questions will create an amazing blog. It will drive a lot of traffic to your website, to your business. And many times, these are the most common questions that people have for your company. Your customers will also have specific questions they'll ask you on the phone call. They'll call you, and the first thing that they have a need of, they'll let you know what that question is. And it's a great idea to write about those items as well. However, if you need a place to start, I feel like these are a good source of questions. Who, what, when, why, how, and why. I do believe that is a good start. Next question is what other things to use your website for instead of leads? Like if it's just leads, what else to use your website for? Well, number one, your competitor has a website. So number one, you just need to be in the game. You don't always have to just meet customers. Just because your competitor has a website, that's a good enough reason for you to have a website as well. That's number one. Number two, your customers are looking for you. They're literally actively trying to find out what you do. So just being available for the people who need what you do, having a website gives you an opportunity to gain that business. So whether they're looking to buy right now, they may simply just be doing research for your industry to find out another time down the line if they're looking to make that purchase. Maybe you're a roofing contractor and they have a small leak now, but they're not ready to make a buying decision, but they need to get some information as far as what's the process, as far as insurance companies and that sort of thing, to complete this job and get it done. Your website would be a great source of information to give them that information, and that's what you can use your website, provide customers with information. Your customers need your help. This is a big one. So many times your customers will think you did an awesome job, and now they want to refer a friend to your business. They may not have your phone number, but they know your company name. The first thing that they're going to do is pick up their phone and try to Google your company name for your phone number. Having a website creates a capture page for them to be able to, number one, find you, show maybe additional work that you've done for other people, as well as your contact information where they will be able to solidify that lead. So by you having a website, sometimes you help your customers give you business as a tool of referral. And last but not least, you just establish this credibility. If you're not even trying to get leads from your website, many people will actually look online for your website just for your credibility. So it's not always about just making money all the time having a website. Sometimes it's just to establish your credibility and who you are. And for some people, it makes a big difference on their buying decision, just knowing that you already have a website. Whether they've already decided to do business with you or not, that website kind of solidifies them as a client for you. This is a big one, okay? The niche business. So I talked about the importance of creating a niche. And so I had some questions throughout the week about what I meant by that. So as it relates to a niche, I want you to think about the biggest businesses. I'm gonna give you a couple examples today. Let's talk about Macy's. Now, when I think of Macy's, I think of clothing. I think of being able to go and buy clothing. So it's interesting, if you do a Google search for Macy's, if you just go to Google and you just type in Macy's, and I'm doing that search right now, you will see that Macy's actually says shop fashion clothing and accessories. That's in their title. Okay, that's what their niche is, right? However, I want you to think about when you go into their store, all the things that they sell. They got kitchenware, they have men and women's clothing, kids' clothing. They have blankets. They have weightlifting equipment. And some Macy's I've seen where they actually have appliances, furnitures. They have all these different things in one building. However, when you go to their website, their niche is fashion and accessories. So you still can provide additional services. You have other items and things that you do, but you can't be great at everything. You can't be the #1 website for everything that you do. So you have to demonstrate to the search engines, to the world, what you're the best at. And that's what I talk about with your title and description. Being specific from your homepage especially, that, hey, listen, I do a lot, but this is what I'm the best at. And you actually express that to your search engines at what you do from your homepage. Another example is JCPenney's. And this is interesting. JCPenney's, once again, I would also think of clothing, but when you do a search for them, it says window and decor, bedding and clothing. So their focus is they're trying to cover a little bit more, but they have so many different things in their store as well. It's a full store of items, but they actually are trying to, they created the niche by targeting those few things out of this massive store that they have. And I just encourage you as a business owner to think about your industry, think about the things that you're doing, to find out how you can make it a niche for yourself. A big one is Amazon. This is interesting. If you know all the things that are on Amazon, it's interesting that their title and description says online shopping for electronics, apparel, books, DVDs, electronics, and they have so much more. They have so much more that they have on their website. However, in their title on their homepage, they talked about these few things that they are the best at, that's their niche. So there is room to have some services. However, you do want to break down your business to a smaller service as possible. You want to create a niche so that you can have the greatest exposure. Last but not least, another big one is Walmart. Now I wanted to show this one too because they have a very interesting strategy, but it's simple. Theirs is save money, live better. So their niche is their price point. They have the lowest price point for the services. So they want to show you that you come shop with us and you know all the things that Walmart has to offer, but we're gonna show you why our prices are cheaper than everyone else. So there's so many different ways you can create a niche for your business, whether it's a service. Here they chose that their niche is their price point. I've seen niches where someone talks about they're the best and they demonstrate through their pictures and photos that they're the best. You can talk about your niche is you deliver your service faster, that you are able to deliver the product in a more efficient way. But you create your niche the way that fits best for your business model, and you advertise that through your title and description of your website, so that when users are searching for what you do, they're able to get an accurate representation of what the service you offer. So does having a niche mean you can't do other things? So yeah, I think we kind of answered that question already. So no, you can do other things. You actually have every opportunity to market all of your services. However, if we go back to we talk about this basketball player, the analogy that we gave, that your website is like a basketball player. You're not going to be great at everything. You may be great at driving to the basket and you're amazing at it, but you're just not the greatest shooter. Or you may be an amazing shooter, but you're not a great person to take the ball to the basket. So in reality, you can't be great at everything. So with your website, you're going to choose your best strategy, your best service, choose what makes you different, and you're going to promote yourself with that service or product, and allow Google to show the world what makes you special. That's what will create the greatest exposure, and you use that by making your business into a niche. I close out this video with search engines want to help your business. So a lot of times it just seems like, number one, that only the big guys get that first page of visibility. But in reality, Google would love to take every company and get them exposure. I would even argue that there is greater opportunity for Google to expand by helping a smaller business than it would be for a large corporation. And I'll tell you why. Because many of the large corporations are already spending millions of dollars advertising. They're already spending their maximum budget on marketing because they already understand how it works. But there are thousands and thousands of companies who have not entered into the game of marketing. And them being successful means a brand new market of untapped advertising dollars. So if you think of the opportunity that you have with your ability to actually start marketing your company, Google has an opportunity to use you as an example, to use you to make you successful. And the more successful you are, just like for your customers, you'll tell your friends. So your success is only going to have you telling your friends about how wonderful job Google's done for you, generating business for you. Just like your customers, when you do a good job for them, they tell their friends about a wonderful job that you've done for them. Google wants the same thing. So the opportunity for Google to grow is massive. The only thing it needs is you. It needs you to hop into business, hop in the market, and make yourself available to be seen. If you have not already, I'm sure many of you have already taken the opportunity to market your business and advertise yourself. However, this is the biggest opportunity for Google to expand and grow by adding a new person into that marketplace, especially one who's never done it before. Because the second you get in there, if they can show you success, you're going to talk about how great and wonderful they are all the way to the mountaintops. Thanks for watching. Please like, share this video. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments, send me a DM. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. If you have a website you would like me to look at, send it to me. I'll definitely give you my feedback. And until next time, talk to you then.